We've gotten a couple new and really good rifles that are released for the Apocalypse DLC in Battlefield 1, and in this quick video I'll share my tips to help you unlock them as fast as possible. I've been asked for this video probably the most out of the new weapons because it seems players are having trouble getting the headshot requirements needed to unlock one of these beast rifles. So if you're having trouble as well, you will definitely want to stick around to the end of the video because towards the end I'll be sharing some great headshot tips. The last time I shared headshot tips that so many of you found useful was when we were unlocking the ribeye roll so long ago. Well, we're back at it again today. Without further ado, let's get into what you came here for. The first rifle we need to unlock is the Ross mk3 because we need to unlock that first to get to unlock the ENFIELD 1917 infantry. And I probably butchered the name there, but that's not what's important. Keep in mind you must have the Apocalypse DLC to unlock either of these new great scout weapons. To unlock the Ross mk3 we need to secure 50 kills, that's 50 as the scout class. Doesn't matter which weapon you use or how you do it as long as you're playing as the scout class. That being said, I highly recommend playing team deathmatch or domination. In these small game modes, enemies are kept in close proximity, and importantly, every time you die, the respawn time is extremely quick to get you back into the action fast. Once you've unlocked the Ross rifle, it's on to the ENFIELD 1917 and the tips for getting those headshots. To unlock the ENFIELD, you must secure 50, that's 50 kills with the newly unlocked Ross rifle. The Ross comes in a marksman variant, so it's great for aggressive sniping with a relatively close range sweet spot around 40 to 75 meters. It's not a very long range weapon, so keeping enemies within that sweet spot range in team deathmatch or domination will see them dropping like flies. One really cool and unique feature this rifle has is the fact that firing a round, you can remain aimed down the sight while another round is loaded and ready to be fired. This comes in pretty handy for those of you who might have trouble tracking enemy targets that are moving. I again recommend team deathmatch or domination for this requirement as well because of the quick respawns I just mentioned earlier, and because you really don't need to be that much far of a distance to keep enemies in the best range for this weapon. The last requirement and the most difficult requirement I keep getting asked about is the 2500 meters headshot requirement. I'm going to run through the best maps and modes to get headshots that I've found. Before I get into detail, I understand there are those of you who aren't playing the scout class often or who might have trouble aiming, especially at moving targets. One thing that's important for getting headshots is being able to get body shots in general. If you have trouble tracking the enemies that are moving, a couple tips I have are to try your best to flank the enemy. As an experienced scout, I enjoy taking enemies out head on, but that really will increase the difficulty you might have in getting headshots. When you flank the enemy or target enemies that don't know your position or are preoccupied with your teammates to take their time to line up shots on you, take your time to line up the headshots on them and you will be amazed at how many you can line up. Keep in mind the requirement is to get 2500 meters worth of headshots with the single action rifle. So it doesn't matter, again, it doesn't matter which rifle you're using as long as you are getting those headshots. In addition, when taking time to line up shots, one of the best things you can find are enemies on stationary guns, AA guns, or laying prone or climbing ladders. These are the most stable, I would say the most non-moving targets. Even when enemies are climbing ladders, they're climbing head first, so you know exactly where they're going to be or exactly where they're going to move. So take your time to get those headshots on the unsuspecting enemies. What I like doing in my videos is saving the biggest tips for those of you who stuck around to the end. So check this out, guys. In Battlefield 1, getting headshots, you will certainly find great results by getting the high ground. Whatever map or mode you play on, get above the enemy. You can be surprised at how much easier it is to get headshots while you aim down upon your opponents. Just about every map in Battlefield 1 has areas of height advantage that you can use. I found that the fortress on the map FAO is a great example. So many opportunities exist here for raining down bullets onto those enemy heads. Another great place for headshots are ladders, like I mentioned earlier. Those enemies climbing can be caught off guard, they travel head first and are unable to return fire. Last and the biggest tip for headshots I found, one of the best maps, and I mentioned this long time ago, one of the best maps and modes to be the operations game mode on the map Suez. On this map there are mounds of sand dunes that snipers and infantry alike tend to peek over, exposing only their faces and less of their bodies, which gives a great chance for headshots. Try your best to keep an eye on enemy snipers snipers or infantry peeking over the sand, and you will be amazed at how many heads you get time after time after time. Whatever rifle you pick for the headshots, I recommend the scoped variant. Infantry variants and iron sights can be the most rewarding, but more difficult for targeting enemies. Sticking to the high ground, taking time with carefully placed flank shots, and even lowering your sensitivity may help with your headshot count. Hope these tips help you guys unlock these new scout rifles as fast as possible. If you enjoy more content like this, hit that thumbs up button to let me know you enjoyed, and share this video with your friends who might be having trouble getting those new weapons unlocked as well. It's your boy Rump Spanker, and until next time, I'm outta here.